All right, guys, so today's video, it's kind of all over the place. And it started out, it was supposed to just be a leisurely trip to a Cars and Coffee in this POS that turned into a few weeks of me messing with this car because it has developed some problems. On the trip to the Cars and Coffee that turned out to be a bust, which you'll see in the video, on the way there and back, I started developing a vibration and noise that progressively got worse. And then I've been working on it for a couple of weeks now trying to fix it and still haven't fixed it. So check it out.
All right, guys, welcome back. Today we are headed to Malvern, Arkansas. It's about an hour from the house. They're having some, I don't know, like a Cars and Coffee, and seems like they said there was a swap meet too, so we're gonna go check that out. I should probably be in the shop working on the red car, but you know, what's the point of having these old cars if we're not gonna get them out and enjoy them every now and then? Ooh, we got bicyclists. Anyway, like I said, you know, that's why we have these old cars, take them out and enjoy them. So that's what we're doing today. Hadn't really been out in the car a lot. We've had some just crazy weather lately. Like, seems like for months, you know what I mean? We went from snow and ice to, you know, tornadoes and torrential rain and like generational flooding. It's just been crazy around here. But it's beautiful today. Sun's out. So far it's not super hot, but it's pretty early. It was a little cool this morning, but you can tell it's gonna warm up. So I don't know anything about this event we're going to. It's put on by a group called Malvern Cruise Night. They do a cruise night every month during this time of year, but this is something different that they're doing. I think it's their first time trying to do a Cars and Coffee. Don't quote me on that. And I think that this is the first time they've tried to implement a swap meet. So who knows, you know. We kind of struck out the last time we went to an event. It was kind of small. The weather, I think, hindered it. So I'm hoping that this one will be a little better. But, you know, who knows? We won't know till we get there. But and then hopefully we'll be back in the shop, try to get the red car, at least get the trunk pan buttoned up on it pretty soon. I do have some things I need to do to this car still. You know, it's just never ending with these things. I drove it yesterday. I just took it to town to get fuel in it and spray the pollen off of it. And it seems like every time I drive it, it's making some new weird noise, but I don't think it's anything that's going to hinder me from driving it right now. I don't know if I got like a motor mount or transmission mount or something that's messing up. It seems like when you put it in gear, if you're just holding it, like holding the brake with it in gear, it's like vibrating. So I don't know for sure. It's going to take two people to help me figure it out. Someone to sit in it and hold it in gear with the brake on while I try to figure out what it is. So I'll try to get that knocked out pretty soon. But anyway, we're going to go check out this event today, and hopefully it's a good one. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Well, another swing and a miss. My car is about the only old car here. I think there's one other one. And the swap meet was pretty sad. That is it right there. So I think we're going to go home and try to work on this car. See if we can figure out that noise.
Well, I guess they can't all be home runs, right? That one was kind of a dud. But, I don't know what happened, but I follow these guys on, like on Facebook and stuff, and their cruise nights are usually pretty big. Like, it looks like they have a really good turnout, so I don't know what was different about today. But I think in the swap meet wasn't much to speak of. But it was their first time, I think, doing a swap meet, so hopefully it'll grow and get bigger. So, maybe nobody came out because it was the first time. They just kind of wanted to see how it went. So I don't know. We may try to come back one time when they do their actual cruise night. But yeah, today was kind of a dud. So maybe that is a sign that I need to get my butt home and just work on my junk, right? So that's probably what we fixing to do.
All right, so this day went from we were supposed to go to a Cars and Coffee this morning, and that turned out to be nothing, and then it turned into working on this damn thing. So trying to figure out what this new weird noise was. And I don't know that I've figured it out, but I'm going to try something. We've been messing with it all day trying to figure it out, and I don't know if I explained it earlier, but like if you're sitting at a stoplight with it in gear and your foot on the brake, the whole car just vibrates and rattles, which, this whole car rattles anyway, but it's a new noise. And so we got it in here, and I had my wife help me. She would sit in it and put it in gear while I climbed all under it and over it and around it and tried checking stuff. It really reminded me of like a motor mount that was collapsed or something, and the metal was from the mount was touching the frame or whatever. But the mount seemed fine. You could really hear it like on this side over here really bad, like in the fender well area. But no matter what I did or pushed or pulled or pried, it wouldn't go away. But you could really, I have a stethoscope, and you could hear it in the frame, like it was weird. Couldn't figure it out. Checked the, like I said, transmission mounts, the exhaust, or none of that is touching anything. Nothing rotational is touching anything that's not supposed to. So I was just kind of at a loss. I did notice while we were messing with it that the belt tensioner was just bouncing. I took it off. It's right here. The reason I took it off, I took the belt off, and then the noise went away. I mean, I can't make it make sense in my head. I mean, I know tensioners make noise and can do some weird stuff, but just I know it's hard for me to explain the way this noise is, so I can't make it make sense in my head that the tensioner is going to fix it. So it's probably not, but I've been working on cars for a long time, and I have seen stranger things. So, I mean, it could be, but it's the only thing I could make sense in my head as to why the noise went away when I took the belt off. So we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to get this thing put on real quick and see if that makes a difference. So it probably won't, but fingers crossed, All right, I'm going to try to get this thing back on here. I'm sure this was a waste of a trip to town and $70, so. But sometimes you just got to eliminate stuff. You got to get it out of your head that that's not what it is. So that's probably what we're doing here. We're probably just eliminating this as a potential problem. Come on. Ain't nothing gonna fit. Just wasn't holding my mouth right. All right, so this little hump right there is interfering, which they're different. This is came from ITC Billet when I got the kit for the front drive system. And I went on their site and, you know, got some numbers and crossed them to an O'Reilly part, and this is what it came up with. So this little area right there is not on this one, and the hole that it fits in, it interferes with. So I don't know if I can like grind that off, if it's gonna hurt it. I don't know. I guess we're about to find out. All right, so the fitment issue was nothing like a flap wheel wouldn't take care of, so we just kind of ground that down a little bit to where it would fit in there. Got it all on there, got the belt on there. So let's fire this bad boy up and see that it's probably still making the weird noise. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it does kind of seem like it's still doing it, but it ain't. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's still doing it. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear it on camera, but it is a weird damn noise. I don't know. Yeah, still doing it. Damn it. I was pretty sure that was not going to fix it, but like I said, sometimes you just got to eliminate stuff. Which I couldn't make it make sense in my head anyway, how that was causing the noise that I'm getting. But because it sounds like this whole side of the car is about to rattle itself off. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm about tired of messing with it because I've been messing with it all day. I know it doesn't seem like it because I didn't film a lot of it, but yeah, I had, of course, when we were out here earlier, I had the whole crew, had wife and my son and grandkids and everybody running around, so we just didn't get to film none of that. So, but yeah, I don't know what it is. It is weird, and it's new. Like, this just started, which the car sat a lot over the winter, and I didn't drive it a whole lot, so I don't really know when exactly it started. I know after I rebuilt the front end, and it was, you know, I noticed it then. That's when I kind of started driving it again. So I don't know, but maybe it is one of the mounts or something that I just can't. You know, usually you can get a pry bar in there and kind of pry up on the mounts, and if it's a bad mount, it'll go away, but we're not getting none of that. And I don't have any flex, like the motor's not moving around like when you rev it up or put it in gear or anything. So I don't know. It's frustrating though, but anyway, I guess I'll keep kind of dicking with it and see what we can come up with. Alright, so I have been all over this car trying to find this noise. I've checked all the motor mounts, trans mount, I've checked the exhaust. None of that is touching the frame. I don't know. I don't know what it is. The transmission is not in contact with anything. The only thing that I did find was every bolt on this fender and inner fender was loose. And I mean, pretty loose. I don't think that's what's causing the noise. I think that's what was amplifying the noise. But I've tightened all that up. I haven't started it yet. I don't know if it's made any difference, but even like these little clips, of course I know it's kind of dark under here, but see if I got one open now. I done put them all up. The little clips that the bolts go into, I don't know if you can see that or not, but they were like split, so they wouldn't even tighten up. So I had to replace those. But like all the bolts for where the inner fender bolts to the fender around here were loose. All of those were loose. I can't remember if these were loose, but You know, I mean, this car is just kind of held together like on a thought and prayer anyway. It's got self-tapping screws and zip ties and everything else holding it together. But, you know, none of that has been an issue before. This side, everything was tied on. The only issue is down here where the valance bolts to the fender, the valance is rotted away. So this is just kind of loose, but you know, it's not too bad. So I don't know, I'm gonna start up and see. I really don't feel confident that this is it, but of course, me not being able to hear very good doesn't help. But I mean, I can still feel it. It just feels like a vibration. But I don't hear, it doesn't seem as loud. So I think my issue is still there, but I think tightening that fender up maybe helped it, you know, where it doesn't seem quite as loud. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what that is. That is just weird. So, still don't know what it is. But all the mount, like I said, I've checked all, none of the exhaust is touching. Nothing is touching anything that shouldn't be. I just don't understand. Like, the only thing that I've changed, which is all the suspension stuff, but all that seems right. The steering box and everything seems right. I don't know. I think I'm gonna let it down off the jack stands and get it on the ground where everything's kind of settled like it's supposed to be, and just see kind of where the noise is at there. But yeah, I mean, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. It really feels like a motor mount or a transmission mount or something that's maybe, I don't know, got weak or whatever, but like, they don't look like it and they don't feel like it, and they're not that old, you know. All that stuff is relatively new. So let me get it off the jack stands and see if it makes any difference. All right, I got it down, but I haven't started it back up again because I want to show y'all something. It pisses me off. This is the second brand new shock that I have blowed out. All I did was let it down off the jack and it blew all the shit out of it. So that pisses me off. So I'm gonna have to get some better front shocks, which I thought these were pretty good ones. I swear it's always something. But anyway, I'm gonna shut the hood. I'll set you all down here for a second and kind of see if we can duplicate the condition. Hood shut, like sitting at a red light. But yeah, I don't understand what's going on with them shocks. The first one I thought was my fault because when I was tightening the nut up, I let it spin a few times, but I did not on this one. So I don't understand. I think they're just cheap shit nowadays. Try backing up a little bit out of the puddle. It's weird, now it sounds like it's on the other side. Drove it I mean, it's still doing it. It doesn't affect, you know, driving or anything like that. It's just like when you're stopped, like at a stop sign or something, it just has this weird, you know, it's got to be a mount, like a motor mount or something, unless there's something maybe going on in the transmission. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is something like that. But it's probably going to take somebody smarter than me, so I may have to get some help. I got a buddy that, you know, usually when it's something I can't figure out, I'll go talk to him, and it's something he's seen, you know, 1,000 times, and will point me in a direction. So, bad as I hate to admit defeat, that may be what I have to do. Just take it up to his shop one day when I'm not at work or something. But yeah, it's, you know, every time I think I've got this car lined out, some new shit pops up that, you know, turns into a nightmare. You know, I keep thinking all this stuff I'm doing, I'm just making it better and better, and that ain't always the case, I don't guess. But it is a little quieter now that I tightened up all that sheet metal, but I wish you guys could hear it. It's not picking up on the camera, because somebody out there could probably hear it and be like, oh, I know exactly what that is. But I'm gonna have to buy shocks for it anyway, so I'm half tempted to just, I know it's dark in here, you can't see nothing, let me get out, but yeah. Now it used to, see, it's doing different stuff now. It was like really loud in drive and not so bad in reverse. Now it's just the opposite. When I put it in reverse, it's worse. It just sounds like right here. But when you get outside where the exhaust is, I can't hardly hear it. I can only hear it inside here. So when you try to, even when I got somebody that's sitting in the car, you know, making it do it for me, I can't really hear it good enough to kind of pinpoint where it's coming from. But yeah, there's my puddle that came out of my shock. Man, that pisses me off. But anyway, I don't know. All right. I finally found it, I think. I have been messing with this thing till I was about ready to just push it outside and catch it on fire. And I couldn't really mess with it by myself because it had to be in gear with the brake on. So my lovely assistant, my wife, finally come out today and helped me. And it's the AC compressor. Because I remember going back to when I first started messing with this, I took the belt off and it went away. And I just kind of thought that was coincidental. Like, I just couldn't, because just the way the noise was. But if you look, my lines, like my AC lines, go between the fender and the inner fender, like back in there. And like the lines are vibrating so bad that they were like vibrating on the inner fender. And I think that's why it sounded like this whole side of the car was about to fall off. But I even took and like wrapped them with stuff, and it's still like the vibration is still there. You know, the noise the fenders were making are a byproduct of, you know, the vibration. So when I first put this car together and first put the LS in it, I didn't do AC first. So I had the belt and tensioner from the setup that was non-AC. So I just took the brackets and the compressor off and put all that back on it and started it and checked it, and it's not doing it now. So it's got to be something in that compressor. You know, the pulley feels good. It's not, I think it's something internal in the compressor. So, but yeah, this thing kicked my ass. But the good thing about it is I did find some other problems that needed addressed while I was trying to find this. My power steering pressure line is, which I knew when I put it together, is really close to the pulley. But I guess there's some slack in it now, so it was rubbing, so I had to address that. I had some bolts in the brackets that had backed out, so I had to tighten all those up. Like we said, the fender was about to fall off, or the inner fender was about to fall off. So we got all that tightened up. I even like I was like stripping everything off. I have like a aftermarket washer, like windshield washer system on the car. I took all that off because the bracket was rattling. But I feel like I've figured it out now after much aggravation and cuss words and wrenches getting thrown across the shop and threatening to burn the car to the ground. And because this video, like I said, is kind of all over the place, and this video has taken, it's kind of a short video, but I've been working on the car for what, 3-4 weeks maybe?
Oh yeah, easy.
Just off and on here and there. Like, I started this video before we went to Dallas to paint, which that video came out. I don't know when this video will come out, but has come out since this car has been down. So yeah, it's been an ongoing problem for a few weeks
6
now.
weeks. I think it's
No,
been.
it ain't been that long, because it was when I went to that thing in Malvern. That's been three weeks ago, I think. So 3 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks. So yeah, it's been frustrating, but I don't feel good about it because it's going to cost me whatever a new compressor costs and Freon and all that. But I do feel good that I found it, because I was starting to panic, like maybe it was something in the harmonics, that maybe something was coming apart in the engine or the transmission or something.
Right,
like I didn't know.
It sounded bad.
It did sound weird, and it's so weird. Like when you're sitting in the car, it is so loud, and you think it's got to be easy to find being that loud, but then when you get outside, you can't hardly hear it. Like you have to use your stethoscope to hear it outside the car. Like, except sometimes it would rattle enough that, like I said, the fender would rattle. But like I said, the fender rattling wasn't the problem. That was just a byproduct of the actual issue. So, but anyway, I do feel good that that we found it finally. Other than it's going to cost me more money. And, I've got so many other things I need to be working on besides this car. Like, this car is supposed to be done, like, ready to go. Like, we have, like, events planned coming up, like, quick, that I wanted to take it to. Which, I mean, we can still take it. We just won't have air conditioning, which we're in the South. And it gets hot as hell down here.
It's fixing to get really hot.
So, yeah, I'm going to be ordering a compressor, like, tonight.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, we are able to drive the car like it is. We just have to suffer. We're just old and spoiled and like AC, so. But, yeah, I've got to get back on this car. I've got a pile of stuff for the Ventura. I've got carpet. I've got some other interior parts. I am fixing to hopefully start building an engine for it and get that crappy big block that's in it and get a Pontiac motor back in it. And yeah, I got all kinds of stuff to do, but I've been like for at least 3 weeks. This is all I've been working on. Just frustrating. Luckily, I've been out here by myself a lot, so nobody had to hear me having my little fits and temper
Yeah, I
tantrums.
didn't see any fits.
Yeah, well, you just wasn't out here, so. But anyway, I just wanted to, show that we did figure it out finally. And I am going to go ahead and end this video here. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will catch you on the next one. Go work on your junk.